Hey there, and welcome to this video on Quick Export in Photoshop. Now, Quick Export basically allows you to export individual layers or groups out as files. We're going to show you guys how to use it, but it's incredibly useful. Let's say you were making like a little flyer and you put a graphic on your flyer and you're like, you know what, I like this little graphic that I made. I want to send that out as its own file. That's what Quick Export is for. Now, a quick note to those of you guys who are using Photoshop, if you're in CS5 or CS6, you won't have access to this feature. They recently added to Photoshop CC. So let's go ahead and jump into Photoshop and show you how to use Quick Export. So here in Photoshop, I'm going to double click on my background and we're just going to open up our folder here. So we're in our sample images. We're in Chapter 3, Section 2, Quick Export. So we've got two little files here, a JPEG and a PNG. So let's go ahead and open those up. There we go. Now I'm going to combine these together. This PNG is from the Noun project. We've used one of their images earlier. These are really great icons that are available free for use. You just have to make sure to credit. So in this case, it's created by Saiful Muslim. Probably not saying that right, but it's from the Noun project. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a layer mask, which, by the way, we created a keyboard shortcut for layer mask in our last section. So I'm happy to use it. Shift-Option-Command-M. There we go. Let's use our marquee tool and just get rid of that real quick. So we're going to say this is going to be our little logo for our hotel. I'm going to put some type next to it. So we'll just call this Hotel Blanca. There we go. Seemed to make sense. Everything is white in this in this place. So Hotel Blanca it is. Alright, now let's just resize this a little bit. Control-Command-T, make that a little bit smaller. There we go, and bring that right about there. So we'll just say like, oh, you know what? I really like this logo for Hotel Blanca. I'm going to apply this layer mask. I'm going to hold Control or Command, click on both of these, and we're going to center align. So Hotel Blanca is going to be center aligned with our little text there. Alright, you know what, I think we could use just a little bit of a headline. Alright. Cool. I am not an expert on writing copy, by the way. Let's go ahead and click on those two. I'm going to open up my paragraph. I'm going to align them to the left and then left align each of those. And then, you know what, we'll just do something like this. Come stay with us. It's just going to be a little bit smaller. There we go. We'll make them both bigger. So basically this is just like, you know, just real quick little design stuff, right? Alright, now let's say we get to the point where like, okay, cool, this looks really good. You know, Hotel Blanca, right now it's black. Let's go ahead and lock the transparency of this layer. I'm going to hit Shift-Delete and we're going to choose to fill with white. Shift-Delete is the keyboard shortcut for the fill dialog. There we go. And we'll fill that with white. There we go. Now let's group these two by hitting Control or Command G, group them together. Control or Command, click on the group and our little icon there, and I'm going to center align those. Perfect. And then we're going to group those together. I'm going to hit Control or Command A and center align the whole thing. Alright, so we just did our little thing there, and let's say your client's like, you know what, that was just a mock-up, but I really like what you did here. Well, here's where Quick Export comes in really handy. So let's go ahead and take a look at our settings within Quick Export, and then let's export this out. So I'm going to go to our Photoshop settings here. So let's go to Photoshop, Preferences, and we're going to go down to Export. There we are. And here at the top you see your Quick Export format. Now, a PNG is going to allow you to have transparency. Okay? So if you want like a transparent background, you want to make sure you choose a PNG. If not, you can just choose a JPEG or a GIF or SVG. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and choose a PNG. This is probably going to be the most common use here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and say transparency. Yes, please. I would like to include transparency. And you can ask where you want it to export each time, or you can just export it next to the current document. Okay? Now, in this case, I'm just going to choose it to ask where we wanted to put it. So let's hit OK there. So this is just a really great example. We've designed our little logo up here. Everything's looking good. Now I just want to export that logo out as an individual file. So to actually do our quick export, we can right click here on our group, okay? And you're going to see right here, quick export as PNG. So let's go ahead and click there, okay? Now it's going to ask where we would like to put this. Okay, we're just going to call this Hotel Blanca .png, and we can continue working on our file. Now let's say we wanted to create a new, I'm going to create a new layer, Shift Option Command N, and then I'm going to apply image. So I'm going to make a copy of everything we see. So we'll go to image and down to apply image. There we go. Let's hit OK. So this apply image is going to include this text here. So we'll say this is our little banner. So now let's say, okay, I want to export this out as a version as well. So again, just right click here, go to quick export as PNG. Okay, and we'll call it Hotel Blanca _ banner. Alright, so we just exported that out as well. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what we've done. We're just going to bring this over here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up those files. So Controller Command O to open up, and we're just going to click on our Hotel Blanca.png and Hotel Blanca banner.png. So let's go ahead and open those up. There we go. And here we can see this is just our logo. So I'm going to full screen this out, and you can see this is exactly what we exported from our original file. And now this is perfect as basically a little logo that you can put on things. And then here's this Hotel Blanca banner.png, and this is basically like the completed version of this. Okay. Now because this is a PNG here, you can just click and drag this onto any image you want, and you can see it basically shows up the same as that group. It's an incredibly useful feature within Photoshop, especially if you're doing any type of print layout or type layout, or even if you're, let's say you're creating a composite photograph and you get it to a place you like, you can export that out as like one version. Not even just compositing, retouching, coloring, any type of photo editing really. You can export out different versions of this as you go along, and that way you can say like, okay, did I like this version or did I like that version? So it's just a really, really great way to export out individual layers or entire groups rather than having to like, you know, because before this existed, let's just go back here. Before this existed, what you would have to do is you'd have to like, if you wanted just this to go out of there, let's just go ahead and close this out too. If you wanted to save just your little logo, you'd have to like right click, you'd have to say duplicate this group to a new document, okay, and then you would want to crop into this document. So I would like create a new layer and then apply image, and then there we go, and then hit Controller Command and select it, and then go to image, and then down to crop, and then down to file, and then down to export. So you can see it's just it's much easier to just save out individual layers or groups as a quick export. Thanks so much for watching this video. We'll see you in our next section where we show you best practices for saving and exporting your files. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you in the next one.